But there we go. Amazing audience. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm actually in where right now, Gottheil?
Spring Valley, New York.
Spring Valley, New York. And I'm with the amazing Avrohom Gottheil. He pronounces it as Gottheil, right? I say Gottheil, so let me correct it. It's Gottheil. Yeah?
There you go.
There we go. So let me shake his hand so you guys can see he's real, like he's real. He's a real thing, right? So I had a conversation with Avrohom almost a year and a half ago, yeah?
Tell you, time flies.
It does.
I don't even remember anymore. It seems like forever.
Well, we had a conversation. It was about it was supposed to be more about his business. We only got to speak about Simplex, right? To the ending of the conversation, right? So, but he'll give us an update on that. And I remember as well speaking about how amazing he looked in his Facebook picture, right? For a 42-year-old, right? And he is still looking great. I will say as well as an update, when he spoke about running his 4.9 miles every day, right? That he actually showed me his watch and he did it. So this guy is a real deal. Avrohom, tell us about yourself, tell us about what you do, what's the update?
Sure. Boy, that's a big question. You know, there's a lot to talk about. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I'm a native New Yorker. I grew up in New York City, in Brooklyn, and till about 20 years ago, I lived in New York City. And now that you've gotten to experience New York City, right, and how fast you wanted to get out of there, I moved out 20 years ago, pretty much for the same reason. I just couldn't take the traffic. Oh gosh. And it's funny, it was actually one morning that was very pivotal for deciding to move out of the city. I was coming back from a business trip and it was early in the morning. It was pouring rain and I couldn't find a parking spot. And in New York we have this thing called alternate side parking.
Right, I experienced that.
Yes, which means that you can't park on one side of the street, so everybody double parks. I couldn't even find a place to double park. Wow. So I get home, I give my wife the car keys. I said, I don't care where you put the car, just put it somewhere. I got to get to work. She comes back soaking wet. Oh, I parked it at the supermarket like 10 blocks away. Wow. And that was pretty much the pivotal.
So she parked and walked back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's when we say, you know what, time to get out of here. So I've been living in this neighborhood for about the last 20 years. I love nature. I love the outdoors. I go running every day when the weather is nice, like now. Even when it's not so nice, I love running outside. I did get a treadmill for when the weather is not so nice. We get snowstorms here in this part of the world.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the weather. I have certain hobbies as well. I love tropical trees. So in Trinidad, I imagine they have banana trees.
Yes.
I've got them too in front of my house. I'll show you a picture. I actually shared it on my Facebook page, so we'll share that as well.
Yeah, sounds good.
I got these 16-foot banana trees in front of my house. I love the tropics. And
you should come to Trinidad.
Oh gosh, I would love to. And I love meeting people. I love networking. So just the fact that we're sitting here, opposite ends of the world, I'm really excited by that.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I am truly amazed. Now tell us about your business in the first part before we get to the end and then speak about it, right? Please.
Yes. So I've actually pivoted a little bit in my business.
Okay.
When we spoke the last time, I come from the telecom industry, so I was in the middle of building a business around providing cloud-based communication services, which is basically taking business communication, business phones, and moving them to the cloud where everything is going technologically. The telecom industry took a big hit over the last couple of years, especially over the last year. There was a big major bankruptcy in the industry, which took things down a little bit. And I pivoted from the cloud communications to the IoT industry, where I started becoming very passionate about the new technology, IoT and artificial intelligence. And I was working with startups to to help promote them, to help promote their businesses on for the IoT and artificial intelligence. Took a little time to think about what direction I want my business to take, and as you know, I have this podcast and YouTube series called Ask the CEO. And with Ask the CEO, and there you go, you can hold that up to the camera.
Even though Facebook will change it around, but it's real.
Yep. And with Ask the CEO, what I do is I interview business owners in this industry, and I help promote them as thought leaders and industry leaders. And what I've noticed is that there is a need for a platform where people can go to educate themselves in the latest trend of technology without a call to action or a sales pitch. You know, many times you want to learn about this new technology, you find these videos online, and there's always a catch to it, like, oh, check out my website, and for more information, give us a call. And it seems kind of biased towards that one company's products, which is okay because they're putting out the video, but that's not what people want. People want to learn about technology.
Agreed.
So I noticed that need in the industry, and that's the need I'm looking to fill with Ask the CEO. Now, of course, in every business, the challenge is how do you monetize it? How do you make a living off of it while at the same time delivering excellence and value to the public? And that was something that I was struggling with over the last couple of months. I actually took a couple of months off from the business in order to focus on other priorities such as finances and just making sure that I can sustain myself for the long run in order to continue building a viable business. Once I got to that stage, then I started reaching out to my network, get advice of people that did similar things, and we came up with a plan that I'm going to continue doubling down on the platform, working with business owners, bringing in fresh content, while at the same time seeking out sponsors. So this way, we get the monetization taken care of, I can pay the bills, while at the same time I'm able to deliver value to the public.
Good. That way you're not on there screaming and looking.
Buy me, buy me.
Yeah. That's good, yeah. I love that. So that speaks to your own unique real shoes segment, right? Where we cover your shoes, and we'll definitely be taking a picture of your shoes after this interview, because many people see you and see your shoes and they think, okay, great shoes, right? But they don't see the struggle. So I appreciate you sharing that, right? Tell me something, my friend. What website, or do they just go to YouTube and type in Ask the CEO and they'll find you?
Okay, so I actually just established a website, asktheceo.biz, where you can see my showcase, and then also you go to YouTube, you can type in my name, Avrohom Gottheil, and you can see that on top of this video, or you could type in hashtag #AskTheCEO.
Okay, wonderful. Now tell me, when you heard that this Caribbean guy was coming to meet you, what did you think?
Oh my gosh, I got to meet him. And I'll tell you a story about how we share similar passion. As a native New Yorker growing up here, New Yorkers have this attitude that, hey, we're it, right? I mean, this is the capital of the world.
It is huge, though, right? I could see you thinking it is it.
Right? You go to New York City, I mean, come on, look at those big buildings, right?
Yeah, it's huge, yeah.
So that attitude is like that as well. When I was 13, my parents took me to Israel for the first time. Now, let me just preface, before that, I did go to Canada quite a bit. I have relatives in Montreal, but as much as Canadians hate to hear that, at least we Americans feel that they're kind of like a second U.S.
I've heard that.
A stepchild.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Right, so the culture is very similar, okay? I love Canada, by the way. I love Canadians, so just a plug there for my Canadian friends. So I went to Israel for the first time, and I was just fascinated. Not just the fact that this is the biblical homeland of the Jewish people, and I got to see all the sites that I learned about, like, wow, they're real, I see it, it's tangible, I can touch it. But more so, there were people rushing off to work, riding on buses, doing the same things that we do here in their world with a different language, a different culture, different attitude, different food. And they're people just like us, and they're just living their lives in their own special way. And that sparked something inside me, this creativity, this curiosity, like what's the rest of the world like? I got a chance to travel to London several times. I was in Barcelona. Just thinking what other countries I've been to. Been to a couple more, I can't remember. But every time when I travel somewhere, even locally within the United States, you know, I've been to many states. Been to California, I've been to Oregon, Texas, Colorado, and it's just so fascinating to see how people go about their lives in their own special way. So when I heard that you're coming all the way from Trinidad, you know, that meant a lot to me. I just had to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Tell me what you're excited about, Avrohom. What has you excited right now?
What has me excited? I'll tell you. The everyday struggles, learning from my struggles, growing, just thinking about what our potential is, what we can do for the future, and just every day. You know, not to sound cliche, but it really does excite me. Just the daily, don't want to say the word grind, because grind has a bad connotation, but just the learning experiences from every day, that really excites me.
Love it. Amazing audience, you heard it live here in 12 minutes from Avrohom. Again, great pleasure. Avrohom Gottheil, super happy to meet you. We'll continue the conversation here. Unfortunately, later.
Great to meet you.
Thank you for being on What Is Inspired by 12 Minute Convos. He's real with Angel Jones.